Is Xbox forcing you to upgrade? What's up, y'all? I'm Ray, and this is my channel, Xbox Ready, where we talk about Xbox stuff. The latest news, rumors regarding new hardware, new games, whatever. And today, we're gonna be talking about a situation that has Xbox in hot water yet again. And fans are worried about how Xbox is gonna handle the situation going into the future. Xbox's parent company, Microsoft, has been in the headlines a lot recently for all of the wrong reasons. And that trend seems to have continued this past week and trickled down to Xbox because of a certain situation regarding old Xbox One consoles. Now, if you don't know what the hell I'm talking about, Digital Foundry basically investigated some reports saying that certain models of the Xbox One, specifically like old VCR launch models of the console, weren't able to update themselves anymore. They admitted it was a very small sample size, but they had a few Xbox One consoles in their vault that wouldn't update themselves past the 2017 or 2018 versions of the dashboard. And because they couldn't update, they weren't able to connect to Xbox servers. And because they weren't able to connect to those servers, they basically had this Xbox where, yes, you can insert Xbox One games into the disc tray and play games that way, but any digital titles were off the table because they couldn't connect to the servers, couldn't authenticate that you owned the game, sound familiar, and they found that if they tried to factory reset these consoles that were affected, well, after the reset, they weren't able to connect to the servers, and it would essentially brick the console. All of this raised serious questions about games preservation, console preservation for the boys over at Digital Foundry. So much so that they reached out to Jason Ronald over at Xbox and let them know about the issue. The fear is that, okay, this Xbox I spent a bunch of money on at a certain point in time, eventually it's just gonna be a worthless hunk of junk because it can't connect to the internet, can't update itself, and would essentially force Xbox One owners to upgrade to the next generation Xbox to continue playing their games, even if they didn't want to. This is not the first time that someone has brought up concerns regarding this topic in Xbox. Not too long ago, it really seemed like they were trying to go into an all-digital library, even for console owners. And of course, this is happening around the same time that Xbox servers decide to go out every other day. So lots of questions about Xbox in terms of their game ownership, especially with digital titles and game preservation. Since then, Xbox has come out and said, no, guys, we fixed the issue. It was a server thing on our side. But overall, I would still say people are pretty skeptical. And if you're one of those people, sure, you have every right to be. We've seen entire digital libraries getting wiped out, especially on the Nintendo side, and we just lost the Xbox 360 marketplace. And sure, as a fan, I would love to see a guarantee that my old Xbox consoles are still going to be working. And right now, that's not really guaranteed because most modern day tech is reliant on internet connection and being able to get software updates, all that jazz. But if you're Xbox, I just really don't think that this is a big priority for them. The way that tech is right now, the way that consumer goods are right now, they're not built to last. Especially these tech companies, they don't want you buying something and then never buying a product from them again because that thing that you bought from them lasts forever. No, they sell you a laptop, a phone, a console with the expectation that it's gonna degrade over time, no longer get support, and then eventually they want you to buy another thing from them. And sure, as a fan, that definitely sucks to hear, especially if you're older and you grew up in a time where you could just have a Super Nintendo and you have the cartridge and that thing is gonna last forever come hell or high water. I think people are being a little too hard on Xbox here though. Xbox, Microsoft, they've done a lot of questionable stuff in terms of gaming over the past couple of years. No one can argue that. But when it comes to backwards compatibility, making sure that older games from this 360 era and even the OG Xbox era, making sure those games are playable on modern day Xbox consoles and therefore preserving them, on that front, they stand head and shoulders above their competition. It's not even close. I mean, my God, look at what they've already done already. They made as many old Xbox games backwards compatible as they could. They went down the list until they could not go down the list anymore. Until literally they were like, because of licensing issues and legal mumble jumbo, we can't add any more games to the backwards compatible library. You can take an old Xbox One or Xbox 360 disc, put it into your Series X, and it'll still work. Or so I thought. I tried to put this Xbox 360 disc of Battlefield 4, and as you can see, it's saying, oh, this is not part of the backwards compatible library. You should check what games are available in the backwards compatible library. And what do you know? I look it up, and there it is, Battlefield 4. I don't know if this is an issue with this game being split up on multiple discs. It does have a disc 1 and 2. This whole situation is just messed up, man. This proves that not like it used to be that if you had a disc copy, it was safe. It was gonna last forever. Obviously, that is not the case anymore. Minor frustrations aside, so many of their classic, iconic titles are available for download digitally. Meanwhile, over on the PlayStation side, fans have been begging for a native way to play PlayStation 3 era games on their PS5. And the best that Sony can do is, oh, you can stream them. You can go ahead and subscribe to PlayStation Plus and stream them to your PS5, which is a service that my buddy Jimmy, who is a PlayStation YouTuber, has called one of the worst services in gaming. And despite all of that work from Xbox, what good has it done them? The truth of the matter is, and I hate to admit this, is that when it comes to the console side of things, game preservation, hardware preservation, that might be a losing battle. But if you really cared about games preservation specifically, you would be rooting for Xbox. Not because they already put in a ton of work making sure older games are compatible on the Series X and S, not because they have a whole team dedicated to games preservation, but because they're doing something that PlayStation and Nintendo aren't doing, and that's putting their games onto PC the same day that they launch. When it came to game preservation, it used to be an argument of digital versus physical. You gotta go physical because a disc will last forever. But as we move into this modern era, discs are basically glorified keys for you to download the game for the internet. But since Xbox is putting their games on PC simultaneously, they're making sure that all of their first-party games are not tied to one specific bit of hardware. PC games last a long-ass time because of mods, and even when servers go down, people can make their own servers and continue playing the game. There's never gonna be a PC 2 that makes your PC obsolete and therefore can't play any of the games that you've bought up until this point. And sure, yeah, you could say, Ray, what are you talking about? The God of War 2018 is on PC, and so is Spider-Man, so is The Last of Us, but there are so many other PlayStation games that are simply not, especially older ones. And even on the Xbox side, even the old-ass games like the original frickin' Elder Scrolls ones, Arena, Daggerfall, you can download them for free and play them on your computer. I'm not saying we shouldn't be worried about the other stuff. It should be, if you buy a console, you should be able to use that console to play games in perpetuity. I got a Game Boy SP right here. I can, at any time, whip it open, turn it on, ooh, that sound is awesome, and play a game. It would be stupid if one day I opened it, it was like, nah, because Nintendo doesn't allow me to update this Game Boy anymore. You can't play Fire Emblem or Pokemon Ruby or anything like that. But unfortunately, when it comes to modern consoles, I think it's just something that we have to prep ourselves for, and it's not just an Xbox problem, it's all consoles. And at the very least, you gotta give Xbox credit. I don't know how genuine their efforts are with this like game preservation team that Sarah Bond keeps talking about, but at least they're taking the effort, at least they're pretending to care. Like, how much money is Xbox making off of those old 360 ports still? Does it justify the investment in making them compatible and making sure that they're still listed in the marketplace? I don't know. I don't have the numbers. I'm just a dude with a camera and a YouTube channel. But I guess even if it's not monetarily worth it, at the very least, it builds up some goodwill in the community. And right now, Xbox needs all the goodwill that they can muster because things seem to just keep going wrong. I wasn't aware of this. I had no issues in terms of my Game Pass stuff, but apparently last Thursday, going into the weekend, a bunch of titles weren't showing up for people in the Game Pass section of their Xbox. And as people were trying to re-up their subscriptions, give Xbox money, Xbox was like, no, not right now. Game Pass is down. This would have been, what, the third time this month that something has gone wrong with either Xbox Live or Game Pass or both? I mean, it's just the worst timing imaginable. It's like, guys, we're getting Call of Duty into Game Pass. We are gonna up the price a little bit, but you know, it's all gonna be worth it when we get stuff like Black Ops 6 into the library. And then right after they make that announcement, seemingly, all these issues start popping up with their servers. A lot of people are trying to tie what is happening with the Xbox servers with the other stuff going on at Microsoft, the CrowdStrike stuff. You know, the whole thing that caused an outage for like millions of people and grounded planes and like disrupted emergency services. I don't really know if that's the case. Apparently they fixed all the CrowdStrike stuff earlier last week. My gut's telling me that this is just an Xbox thing, a Game Pass thing. Some people are theorizing that it has something to do do with the price increase coming in a couple of weeks. This guy on Reddit says, yeah, I just got done with online support. I was like 107th in line, waited an hour plus, another hour getting it fixed. They canceled my subscription and signed me back up. It was all a pain in the rear. Hard to believe how dumb this whole thing is over their greedy price hike. Later in the conversation, she assured me they were acknowledging the problem, charged me $16.99 for this month, and gave me some Xbox balance points so the next bill, being $18.99, would be $16.99. Just, ugh. Look, it could be just bad timing, but this is just not the way you want to start off your new era of Game Pass, the more expensive version of Ultimate with Call of Duty, Game Pass Standard. This is not the way you want to kick it off. If you're going to be charging people more for stuff they've been paying for maybe 2 or 3 years now, you want them to feel confident, you want them to feel good, you want them to feel justified in their investment and purchase, and stuff like not being able to re-up your subscription or access any of your Game Pass titles. That's the opposite of making someone feel good. But it's not all doom and gloom for Xbox. Looks like one of the major projects that Xbox has been absolutely dying for over the past couple of years is finally coming to fruition, an Xbox mobile store. Again and again, during all of that Activision Blizzard trial craziness, Xbox was adamant that the major play here was trying to establish a mobile gaming presence so they could stand amongst the titans like the Google Play Store and the iOS App Store. But since then, we haven't really heard anything because, well, Apple and Android, they don't want another gaming store popping up, especially not on their devices. But Clobrill over on Twitter spotted a webpage for what could be an Xbox mobile store. This screenshot went out to a select number of Xbox insiders with the simple message, coming soon, and that those insiders are going to be in a hold group so they can test what people are theorizing is the Xbox mobile store. Previous to this, Sarah Bond did say that a mobile store would be coming July 2024. Obviously, July is done. It is over, still no mobile store. But when she said it was going to be launching in July 2024, she said it was only going to have Candy Crush and Minecraft available. And then down the line, they were going to have some third-party partners to round out that library. With the way things are going, I wouldn't be surprised if we got some sort of announcement regarding this in the next couple of weeks. I don't know if they would do it before or after Gamescom. Maybe they'll do it simultaneously. Maybe they'll show it off like, oh, we have all these great games, and now you can play them through the mobile store on your phone. To me, I mean, Candy Crush, Minecraft, I'm really not going to be interested unless I can play other first-party games through it. And if there's no Game Pass integration, it's like, what's really the point? Anyways, guys, that's all the Xbox stuff I have to talk about today. Thanks so much for joining me for another edition of Xbox Ready. If you made it this far into the video, I would really appreciate it if you subscribed. Keep hanging out with me. Keep talking Xbox with me. Help me get to 200K. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.